G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing on this lovely day? Man, it's been good, the sunniness is grand, but tomorrow is going to be the last day, a sunny day for the foreseeable future. It appears we're going to be getting a week's worth of rain, so that's always grand. I am bloody knackered, I'm stiff, I'm sore, had a wedding to go to yesterday, and man, I haven't danced in God knows how long, so my body is fighting for its goddamn life right now. But I have a little topic today, ladies and gents, to get through. Thank you, Tesla. I love how you have all the technology and still can't take a corner correctly. Let me just touch and go real here. No rolling stops, because people on the internet get mad when I do that. But ladies and gents, g'day, my name is Nathan. I make videos on motorcycles. If you like my content, please leave a comment, subscribe and all that goodness. Help us grow the channel. And yeah, let's get into it. So, ladies and gents, today I thought I'd talk about a lovely topic about how do you guys get better at riding your motorbike. Now, there's multiple different ways you can do this, so I'm going to go over a few things. I've done this video before in the past, but you know, the more you ride, the more you learn, the more you can add to the topic. So we're going to do that with the upgraded, new and improved edition today. So let's get the first basic one out of the way, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is to just simply ride your damn bike, because the more you do something, the better you get at it. And no, that does not apply to drink driving. So a lot of you guys ride your bikes a lot, and a lot of the people I see do not, and they think they do, and they go, I've had this bike for years and I've done 5,000 kilometers, and you're like, my friend, you've barely touched it, it's still brand new. All right, so an easy way for you guys to improve getting better on your bike and improve your skills is to just get out and ride, get out in traffic, get out in rain, get out in snow if you have to. But snow is one of those ones I kind of go, you can kind of do without snow, let's be honest. Snow is a bit sketchy because of black ice and all that good stuff, but just get out and ride your damn bike around, because the more you do it, the better you will get. You will learn how to deal with traffic, you will learn how to stop, and if you do lane filter, you'll learn how to lane filter safely and where you shouldn't, and how to lane change, braking points. And honestly, it's just mostly positives to practicing. Now obviously the more you do something, the more risk you get out of something, but of course it's a bit of a double thing, because the more you do it, the better you're going to be getting at it to avoid accidents and potential oopsie-whoopsies, you know what I mean? So that's just the simple stuff. Another one, ladies and gentlemen, is to just get out and practice your riding. There is no shame going to a parking lot to practice your riding skills and techniques, because if you need to practice your emergency stops, you need to practice your slow speed riding, if you want to practice your swerving, if you want to practice your U-turns and all that goodness, just go to a parking lot and either get yourself some markers with some cut up half tennis balls like some people do, or just use the markings of the corners of the actual, you know, parking spaces themselves, because too many people are not good at basic skills on bikes, and it's to their detriment. Because look, man, if you can't do a U-turn on a bike, you're going to drop the bike eventually, or you're going to get better and get, you know, good at it, man. And you don't have to practice doing the quickest and sharpest U-turns around. Just practice doing basic U-turns so you can do a U-turn in a road, and then you'll be able to do a U-turn in a side street, you'll be able to do a U-turn in a driveway. The better you get, the better you will be, and the happier you will be, and the more you will thank yourself and hopefully me for this video, you know what I mean? Just get out and practice, man. There's no shame, there's no like insult. Don't be embarrassed to get out and practice. It's one of those things that a lot of people use that excuse, I don't want to be seen by someone. Who gives a shit? The way I can describe it to you, if you guys are still out there struggling, wondering about people's opinions of yourself, how many times do you go through your day, see someone in public, and then go home and think about them for the next forever? And even if you do you think the person gives a damn? No, all right? Once you go out and do stuff, people just look and then move on with their days. Nobody's sitting there going, oh my God, that bloody guy is sitting there practicing, or girl. So, first of all, get that mentality and à la poubelle, you know, throw that shit into the trash. None of that around here. Don't let yourself get to the detriment of yourself just because you're worried about people's opinions, all right? We're riding bikes here. We don't care about people's opinions of us. People already think we're scary or badass or everything in between, and depending on whatever you ride, an assortment of other things. So why do you care about if someone sees you practice? Okay? So, if you guys are more of your naked bike riders or your sports bike riders, now this one it can apply to the cruisers as well, but more so not. If you want to get better at your cornering and all that, go find yourself a nice twisty road. Preferably, if you're just starting, don't get the most advanced twisties you can imagine. You don't need the sharpest hairpins or anything. Just get yourself a nice, relatively curvy road and just simply enjoy your ride. Don't overdo it. Don't think too hard about it. Just go, cruise around and enjoy yourself. Because I can assure you, the more you practice, in those scenarios, you will get better at taking corners, you will get better at doing your entering, you will learn how to brake better. But the be-all end-all of cornering and twisty riding practice is go to a track day. Now, I know they're expensive, and if you don't want to damage your bike, you got to do a little bit more preparation. So get yourself your sliders or your crash bars. I don't know what they let you ride with on the tracks. Get yourself your protection for your bike as well as yourself, because the less risk to the bike, the better and more confident you'll be at taking corners. Get yourself some good rubber, because I can assure you, some shitty tyres on a track day, you will learn just how crappy they are, and you will learn very fast how bad they are. So get yourself some nice grippy tyres. Get yourself all the amenities to make sure you don't feel so scared about riding, because you want to have crash protection and slide protection. Hopefully you don't have to worry about it. And just give yourself a few sessions at a track day, and I can assure you that will make you the better rider out of all of your mates by a nautical mile, because track riding is the one place you can really rip and tear without any sort of fear of law enforcement. You don't have to worry about, oh my god, is there an undulation in the road I don't know about? And I can tell you, man, the better you get at doing those kinds of rides, the better you will get overall as a rider, because damn, track riding is a whole different experience. Now, I personally haven't done it, but I know enough people who have, and they all say the same thing. If you want to get better at riding, go to a track, because it's the one place you can truly push yourself to your limits. If you do come off the bike, there's plenty of runoffs, and if you do hurt yourself, there is medical teams there, so you have less worry and stress about the potentials and the damage, and you can focus more and more on the actual riding and getting better, because when you haven't got the stress of what if I come off the bike here, because if you're practicing your twisty rides in a mountain and there's no one there to like help you, and you come off the bike and you're in the middle of nowhere, guess what? It's a long crawl home if you can crawl at all. If not, good luck if you have self-reception. And if you don't have self-reception, whoa, it's a spicy afternoon if you can manage to make it back up to the road. If you come off the road, that is. If there's no one around there to help you, guess what? You're gonna know about it for quite a while. So there's a reason, man, why we always say get into the track days. And yeah, man, just get out and ride. The more hours you have on the saddle, the better you're naturally going to get at something. So I see too many people who just don't not ride their bike. Ride your bike to work if you can, if you don't have to bring a whole bunch of stuff. If you're not a tradie with a truckload of tools or whatnot, ride your bike to work, okay? Going through traffic will make you a better rider all the time, because there are so many things you need to be aware of whilst riding in traffic that if you do not pay attention to, will lead to a bad day. You will have to get better, you will have to practice, you will have to learn how to quick stop, you will have to learn how to do a spicy lane change, and even situational awareness, like coming up to a stop like this in traffic is not as simple as coming to a stop. Sometimes you really need to be aware of what is behind you, because those cars can come up fast and rear end you, and they'll make you sore in the rear for all the wrong reasons. Giggity. The only time you should be getting a sore ass on the bike is when you ride for a long time and your butt just decides to go numb, all right? Not because a car has come behind you at Mark Jesus and cleaned you out. And those can be a recipe for disaster and really, really bad injuries. So just be aware, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said, the more you ride in congestion, the more you get used to checking out for these things. Now, if you're just riding on a lot of calm days, it's not as big of a thing. People don't check as much because you just don't have to. Is that a trike over there? Well, it's not a trike. It's the one with the two wheels in the front. It's the one that gets registered as a car. They're strange looking things, those. It's almost like a snowmobile with wheels. That's how I describe them. But we're not judging here. They're just strange looking things to me. Get off my visor, buggy. But the more hours you get on the bike, boys and girls, you're going to get better. You're going to get faster. You're going to get smarter. And honestly, speed is one thing, but becoming a smarter rider is the biggest thing you can do, because becoming a smarter rider means you start to recognize all the risks and damages that can potentially happen and all the assessments you need to do. And it just makes you better, safer, and more of a long-term rider overall, because you might not realize that you need to look for certain things. You might not realize that I should be paying attention to the car coming from this direction. I should be paying attention to the car coming from over here. Because if you're not riding, you just don't think about these things. The more you ride, the more experience you get actually on the road, the more you recognize potential risks and damaging factors. Like even this car right here, it's just pumping up there. Now, if you don't ride a lot, you might not even realize what I did there. I've changed position in my lane, because guess what? I don't want to be invisible, and I want to give myself as much option to move either left or right. A lot of the time what people do when they have that scenario is they actually end up going in the same direction as the car, because that's natural. You want to swerve that direction. Sometimes you got to swerve behind the car, because if they're moving forward already, you want to move behind them, because that way whoosh, you miss each other, you know what I mean? One of those scenarios. But you You just don't know until you ride more and more and more and more and more and more. So, ladies and gents, please do yourself a favour and get more hours on the bike. Practice, 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 and you will thank yourself, because even learning how to do simple swerves under pressure is something you won't do unless you practice, because you might target fixate in a panic. You might counter steer the wrong direction. There are people who, I was seeing a comment, a guy goes, I don't counter steer, it's too scary. Like, man, if you're riding a bike, you're counter steering. What kind of stupid ass comment is that? So you want to make sure you go, uh-oh, that 70 sign's in the way, swerve that direction, you know? You don't go, oh, and panic and swerve into the sun because you have no idea how to steer properly. You know, I'm going to go actually over here to this petrol station because your boy's running a little through. I should have just gone all the way down. Why have they done this? Oh, that's all right. Yeah, we can fit through here. Let's do this cheeky little U-turn here. You know what I mean? Look at that. You can just do things when you practice. If you don't practice, that might have been very difficult for you. But for your boy, I've practiced it enough times. Like I said last time, I'm not the best U-turn person there is, but I do like to get better at it because I want to get better at things. But let's fill up the old bike and then we'll finish the video off. This shouldn't take too long. Ooh, hello, spiking a little bit there. Alright. And that, ladies and gents, was my TED Talk about getting better at riding. If you have any other things you want to add or anything you know will help improve, please leave it down below in the comments. I always appreciate extra advice and tips from those more seasoned veterans, and even those newer riders. Sometimes you have that fresh look on things and you pick out things that us who have been riding for a little bit longer, you know, don't see anymore. But that's it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, leave a like, comment and subscribe. Otherwise, take it easy, keep it cheesy. You know I love you, but it is time to leave you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and peace. Bye.